What's going on, everybody? What's good? What's good? What's good? That is the new intro for now. Hope you liked it, Darth.
Straight up had me vibing off that for like a good little minute. I'm in I'm in the back room just like vibing just out of nowhere. Oh, okay, we're starting.
Let's go. Yo,
Anyway, hello, what's up, everybody? We're back.
hello. Yes, we are back. 2 weeks in a row, we are back. We have so
hmm
much to talk about. We have some sad news. We have some good news. Then we have some, just
Sad,
regular stuff.
glad, happy, all of the newses, all of
Yeah,
it, all around. We got all the news.
listen, y'all know how we do. We always talking.
Some Sith.
Yeah, they. Oh my god. But guys, how are you this week? It is Wednesday. We are back for our daily show, even though it says Tuesdays, but we are back. It is Wednesday, so we're back to that. Because I think Tuesdays was when the show was coming out, actually. When I think it was Ahsoka. I don't remember, but it was one of the shows that was out. But oh well, we back either way. We back.
Yeah, one
That's
shot. Yeah, for real. Like we did switch because of whatever day. Yeah, it might have been Ahsoka or I don't know. It's been a while. It's been so many shows that has come out. It's hard to keep track. Like the last one aside from Ahsoka.
Yes, for sure. Technically, wait a minute, Great Jedi. He was here last week. I don't know if you were
Yeah,
here, but he was here last week. He did make his appearance, so he was back. He was
I
back.
was. I was here. We officially
Hey,
started right back.
hey, what's good, Rogue? Subbed a couple weeks ago and loving the content. Well, this is where you get your Star Wars news.
Mm,
Hey. Also, too, I can't leave the homie out. So he does put out content, so I can't leave him out. He does put content. So go check out Darth Hater as well. His link is actually in the description. He works on a lot of stuff. He's a big cosplayer. If y'all don't know, anyway. Yeah, we're gonna leave it at that. I'll leave it. But other than that, how have you been? How's everybody in the chat? How are you doing, Darth Hater?
coming off a cold and everything. Like everybody and their mama right now. Like, how about you?
Dude, for real, bro. I know like 3 or 4 people that just got COVID. Like, bro, I just got finished being sick. Literally, I've been sick since November. I mean, you know, you know, you know,
Yeah.
you know, you
Yeah,
know.
I've been lucky enough, like haven't caught COVID, but then whatever else has been around, that's the one.
Well, I'm jelly, bro. I'm super jelly fam all day because I cannot stop getting sick, man. Like I feel even today at work, I'm like, yo, my throat. I'm like, oh my god. But you know what? We here. We gonna talk some Star Wars because we got a lot to get into. This week
hmm
was a really, really hard one. I think we should just get into that topic, and that is
Yeah,
Greef Karga. Carl Weathers has passed
our
away,
weathers, man.
dude. I mean, dude. I don't even know what to say, bro. I mean, you could start it off. That was just hard. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that one was so sudden. I mean, it just, it's crazy. It's like we just had Ray Stevens, and then like Carl Weathers like right afterwards.
Bro, it's crazy because it's like we haven't caught a break in the Star Wars community. I mean, at least with these two big characters, and you could go a little bit into it with Grief Karga if you want. I mean, he was supposed to be the next. He's a big deal in the Mandalorian. This is terrible. This is sad. I mean, on Navarro, he was the man. So it's like now what's going to happen with his character? Does he get recasted? Do they switch gears and
Well,
kind of just not talk about him? I mean, what are your thoughts on that? I don't know. I don't know. Oh, we just lost him. But I mean, guys, overall, it's really sad. Like I said, I mean, a big actor, a big hit to the community. I wasn't expecting it. They didn't really give much. I mean, I haven't heard much on his passing. All I heard is that he slept. He passed away in his sleep. So that's obviously not a good one. But overall, it is detrimental because again, it's just like Ray Stevenson's passing as well. That also hurt the community pretty bad. Two big names, two big characters that are gonna be very important. I feel like for the Mandalorian movie. I mean, overall, Darth Hader, what do you think about this passing? How do you think the future looks for his character?
back now. Okay, I'm back. Yeah, as I was saying, like, yeah, it's really sudden, and it's just gonna like hurt like storytelling, obviously, because he was a big character. It's not like this was like a side character. And same thing with Ray Stevenson, but Carl
Yeah,
Weathers was like an integral part of like the Mando. Like, if anything, like there's Mando, Grogu, and then I'd say Greef, arguably Greef, Karga, and then everybody else. We already lost. What's her name? I feel bad forgetting her name, and she's trying to come back right now.
who you talking-
What was the girl that was like the marshal for Navarro?
Oh, you're talking about Cara Dune. You're talking about Gina Carano.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. We like think about it. Like, technically, we lost her for reasons, and then like we just lost him because he passed. So that's like
And there was
Mando's two biggest allies aside from everybody else he just met and everything. So it's just that's a big loss for the show.
Dude, I mean, you have two characters, as you said, that are big for the show. And what's crazy is that, like, now all the more. I mean, we don't have to go into it much, but we know that she is suing Disney. I'm sure you heard that news. And, that takes everything out of the equation of her ever coming back. So that's out of the question, unless, like, it's like probably years from now when, like, somebody else ends up owning freaking Lucasfilm. But I don't see her coming back anytime, obviously soon.
Yeah, yeah. I don't see her coming back at all because like their whole reputation and like relationship is just just askew. Like it's like hiring back that person who like rocked the boat, and then like you never know how uncomfortable everybody else in the room is gonna be. Regardless if they're with her or against her. Like it's just not gonna be good if she comes back. Like. But this Carl Weathers thing is like even bigger because, like I said, he's the dude who like laid out the missions. Like he gave Mando a plot of land. Like he was such a big part of season 3.
Yeah,
So
especially
it's
the
like,
ending, yeah,
yeah,
how that's going to go going forward. And, maybe that's how, he got back involved with, the New Republic and everything like that. That's what I'm thinking. And now how that goes forward and what that looks like now, who takes his spot. I mean, do you think they do a recast? Would you guys in the comment section want a recast? What do you think?
I mean, honestly, you kind of have to. And like I put out a video today talking about it, and I'm like, honestly, you know, their best bet is to do a Terrence Howard, Don Cheadle situation from like Iron Man 2, where it's like, okay,
Right.
you're gonna just have to recast him. Like they'd be dumb
Oh
and
no.
everything.
Oh, there we go.
It'd be weird to just digitally like redub it, put his face on some other actor. I think at this point you just have to just recast.
Yeah. Yeah. I guess so. Yeah, I mean, I guess you could go that route, but it's like, damn, bro, what a hit. I mean, just what a hit. I mean, I guess you have no choice, but
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, but when it comes to Mando, I mean, overall, he could still get, he could learn about his missions and stuff like that, I guess, from the New Republic. I mean, because, I mean, who did he in season 3? Who did he? I mean, he still has, obviously, he's still in contact with Bo-Katan, and Bo-Katan is probably still in probably, speaks to Sabine and stuff. And, well, Sabine is on freaking Peridia, so that's out of the question. Yeah, I don't know how they get involved now. I don't know how his character gets involved unless, before he passed, they have something maybe that was leading into that. I'm not sure. I don't know how they really go about that.
I mean they could go far. I mean, this is one out. There's two outcomes. Like I said, they recast. Get
Right.
another actor who we can talk about who they could get later. But either that or they start the show with Greef Karga died, assassinated, something happened to him, and and that's the start of Mando's mission.
Right. Yeah, they could do something like, I mean, they could do something where they do like some sort of a deep fake, I guess, and that could be like the final scene. You know what I'm saying? Just to kind of end it on a good note
Yeah.
and just let it, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think that's a way that they could do it. So that way, like, all right, like he's, we see him one last time. I'm sure they're gonna give him a good send off, bro. I'm sure we could see like some sort of a thing where
Yeah.
they do CGI just really quickly with his character, and then just like, because at this point, he doesn't have to be involved now. I mean, they could do something, but I think if it's like a nice little send off with Mando where they worked one last time, he's like, hey, I got one mission for you, and that's it. So it could be something like that. But
Yeah, like through a hologram or something, and then that's it. But
right, the message, yes, I agree with you.
yeah. But
Yeah, that's
hypothetically, like, say they don't do that. They just recast him because they have bigger plans for his character. Who would you
right.
want to see, in the recast?
Oh, dude, that's a good question. I mean, to be honest, I know like this just happened. I mean, I guess like what almost a week ago, but it's funny. I haven't even had time to process who I would want. I haven't really thought about it. I mean, I guess I'll throw it back at you. Who would you want if you had to choose? Oh, actually, you know what? I have somebody in mind. Wait. I have somebody in mind.
Let's see
No,
if we both hit the ticket on this one. Who you got?
I don't think you're gonna have the same one as me, but honestly, bro, Idris Elba. I love Idris Elba, bro. I actually wouldn't mind him.
That's
He actually,
a good one.
yes, because he has the salt and pepper look. He is older. He's not a bad fit, and it's Idris Elba. Like, who doesn't like him? Like, come on, bro. Like, good looking dude. Good looking dude. Like,
yeah, okay, that's a good one. That's definitely a good one. Like I wasn't really thinking about him, but yeah, you hit it on the money with that one.
I definitely. Video idea, light bulb. Thank you. Go ahead. Your turn, though. Go ahead. Go for it.
I was thinking Danny Glover.
Because
they're both around. Literally, they're both around the same age.
Yeah, but I feel like Donald Glover still has a young look. I feel like he still looks youthful.
Not Donald. No, not Donald Glover. Danny Glover, like Lethal Weapon.
Oh, you're talking about? Oh, shoot! I didn't even think of him. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh!
Like Donald Glover's Lando. Like this. I'm talking about Danny Glover. It's funny.
Oh, Danny. Oh, dude.
Yeah.
That's a good one. He's still alive? I forgot. Damn.
Yeah, he's still making movies. They're making another Lethal Weapon movie with him and
Mel Gibson. Mel Gibson.
Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot about him. Yes, he would be a good one, but I feel like he's too old, isn't he? I feel like Idris Elba is
both the same age.
Right, you're right. Yeah. Damn, I forgot about him. Stringer Bell. Yeah, I didn't think about that. That's a good one. I mean, I don't know. I guess the only reason why I would go the route. I mean, listen, your pick is a great pick. I guess the only reason why I would go with Idris is. Yeah, no, I guess. Yeah, just because the youthful route, because I mean we're seeing everybody kind of like just die randomly, like I don't know like what's going on with Star Wars. It's like becoming like the Superman freaking superstition thing where it's like if you become, if you play a certain character in Star Wars, it's like now you're like popping or you're dying off. It's kind of scary, so or like I don't know, man. It's just not a good look overall. It's really not good, but I don't know. I hope that they do something to write him off in a good way, send them off right. I'm okay with it. I don't mind. I don't mind it. But overall, I guess the next thing is that we could lead into that. That leads into his character. Is did you hear the news? Mando movie starts filming this year. They're saying
June,
as early as this year. What are your thoughts on that? I'm gonna pull it up now. The article.
I mean, it figures because, like, honestly, with the filming process, it's funny because, like, I feel like a lot of films and TV shows used to take a lot longer, like, to ramp up. Now it's like it's like so streamlined, like how quickly they can like crank out these shows and movies now.
Yeah, dude, it's insane, bro. It's insane how quick everything is just coming, and
it
it's
used
like,
to go from like 2 or 3 years.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, it used to go from 2 or 3 years to do right and get a movie out, and now it's like 1 to 2.
Yeah. So from here, CB, what is it? The comic book review, according to a new listing on the film and television. Oh no, what just happened? Comic book is saying that the Mandalorian will begin shooting in Los Angeles on June 17th. What a precise date, bro. June 17th. How do we feel? In the comment section, what are your thoughts? I mean, overall, the crazy thing is, bro, there's no synopsis. There's no story. We don't even know where they're going to go with this because they're skipping ahead of they're going ahead of the Mandalorian season 4. They're surpassing, Ahsoka season 2. So how does that even look? Like what are we gonna be getting, guys? Like I don't know how that's gonna look for the future overall. I mean, we know that there's a lot going on. You have Thrawn going to Dathomir. I mean, with the Night Sisters, you have Ahsoka on Peridia with Sabine, Balin, and Shin, and it's just a lot. It's a lot. Darth Vader. I mean, what are your thoughts, man? Because I mean, I feel like all the heavy hitters are gone, like not even around. If you're still there, Darth Vader.
I think, yeah, I'm here. Reception's kind of crappy right now. I think what they're gonna probably do is like this is like how like things get into motion for like the other Dave Filoni movie. Like I think it's Mando, is the one who, it's like I feel like while making the job,
Oh no! Oh no! Your service. Oh no!
I'm
The
here.
service is very. Oh, there you
You hear
go.
me?
Okay, okay. Now we hear you. Now we hear you.
Yeah,
Yep.
I think it's just gonna lead into like Thrawn, like at the end.
Right, right. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. I'm thinking it's all gonna lead, but I think they're gonna still utilize the Mandalorian. I had done a video on it. I was talking about. I think they're gonna end up utilizing the Mandalorian to talk more and focus on Mandalore, because I think we spoke about it last week. But we've talked about it in the past where they're gonna probably utilize the Mandalorian series to talk about Mandalore. They're probably gonna use that show to show the rebuilding of Mandalore. And the Mandalorians, Bo-Katan, focus on that. And they could still tell a story that leads up until the First Order. They could utilize that show for all of that. The Ahsoka series, I guess they're gonna utilize that show to just focus on Ahsoka, Balin, Shin, and Sabine. That's my thought. I don't really see them doing anything else or going anywhere else with it. That's if they don't incorporate Ahsoka and them into the series, which I thought they would have done that at some point, but it doesn't look like that. So I'm not really sure what's gonna happen there. But I mean, there's so much that they still have yet to figure out. And I think at some point they gotta, because they've brought so much into the story. I feel like they've kind of put themselves, up against the wall, especially like bringing in Night Sisters. Like there's so much content.
Well, they did say this is gonna be like
And
it's gonna
Avengers.
culminate into like an Avengers like kind of level event, which when you're doing all this from different sides with like all these different characters, it's gonna go there.
Right. Yeah, man. But I'm just like, damn, bro. Like, how much can you really do? And it's like, one of the things that is like, it brings curiosity to me is like, where were Night Sisters, during the sequel trilogy? Where was, mention? We talked about this last week. Where was the mention of Mandalore? Where was like anything? Like, we didn't see any of that. And this is why I feel like they messed up so bad when it comes to the sequels, man, because like they told a story that doesn't add up with the current canon that is now. And it's like they're kind of filling in plot holes, yes, but it's not adding up to the latest movies. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but they didn't need to do that. Like I said, if you do that, then you make the galaxy way smaller than it's a big galaxy, and there's a lot of characters, a lot of planets, a lot of different aliens, a lot. There's a lot. Not everything has to be like shoehorned into like the main story, and you
Right.
can't do that. Like because then it takes away from everything else. Like okay, like say in the Force Awakens, we got a small snippet of like Mando culture and everything with the Mythosaur flag at Maz Kanata's castle, and that
Right.
was enough. Like we don't need to have Bo-Katan or Mando or whoever walk across the street to be like, oh yeah, they're going to be important later, or we don't need somebody to mention. We really don't need somebody to mention Thrawn or everybody and everything. Like Vader and whatever villain you ever make in Star Wars are always going to be in the shadow of Emperor Palpatine and Darth Vader. Like it is what it is.
Right.
At the end of the day, like you don't have to mention Tarkin. You don't have to mention Count Dooku. You don't have to mention Thrawn. You don't have to mention any of these other villains that we've seen all throughout Star Wars. Like we kind of the peak was like Palpatine and Vader, and they can't go anything beyond that aside from every now and then, like, oh yeah, Palpatine did this or Vader, like did that. You can't do that with Thrawn and everybody else. Like they won't do that. Like you're not gonna see somebody be like, oh yeah, Grievous did this back in the day.
Right. No, yeah, I mean, I hear what you're saying. I mean, I get that part, but I mean, if we're talking about the main galaxy, right, that they always promote and
Mm-hmm.
put out so well, like, they talk about it. I mean, Jakku is a part of everything that just went. You know what I'm saying? Like the Battle of Jakku happened. Like all this is going on during this time, and it's supposed to happen and everything like that. And it's like we're in the main galaxy, so it's like Ezra should have been a part of that story. All these characters. I mean, we don't know, but I don't know. I'm just hoping that they do something where it incorporates them. It talks about them at least. Because yes, as big as the galaxy is, it's still the main galaxy where Dathomir is there, Mustafar, and you still have Tatooine, you still have Jakku. There's the stories of certain characters have been told. So it's like, we know what comes along with those characters. You're gonna tell me Ahsoka's story now that she's added to the canon and all that, her story hasn't been, told over Luke's. I mean, I don't know, man. Like
They
that's
just
what I'm
kind of took care of that in a sense. Like she's in a different galaxy, different planet. Like out of sight, out of mind. She doesn't need to be unless they bring her back somehow or her story ends. We don't need to hear about her unless it's pertinent to like the story. If they bring her back or
right,
something later on, okay. Like say they brought her back in the Ray movie, if they
right,
do, which would kind of be dope. Then
right,
all right, fine, I get it. But they
right,
don't need to bring her back like just for the sake of like she needs to fight the First Order and Palpatine.
right. I mean, no, I agree with you there. I agree with you. I think that damn, but could you imagine that? Like Ahsoka still being around during the New Jedi Order movie that Rey has? Like that's a lot, bro. Like I don't know. Like that's a like that's like really Dave Filoni like embedding his gem into that. Like that's crazy, bro. Like you have a character that's still around from the Clone Wars in that movie.
Yeah,
Like that's
I mean,
crazy.
I love Ahsoka. Like I do love her, but the one gripe I'll give Dave Filoni, and it's
Doesn't kill her off.
it is what it is. Yeah, he just can't kill his favorite characters off. Like we were talked before in different shows. Like Vader had her dead to rights, and then on top of this, it's like there better be a good reason for her to keep going this far past like the Clone Wars original trilogy, and especially the sequels.
Right.
Like there should be, there needs to be a really good reason to bring her back if they're going to do all that. And same thing with the rest of the Rebels crew, or even Ezra, like Ezra for that matter, because like where was he when Luke's temple got destroyed? Since he's back now, like he's back into the main fold. He's back into like he basically essentially came back to the Republic.
Right.
He's back into like he's his chess piece is back on the table. So, does he intertwine? Does that intertwine with Luke? Does it intertwine with anybody else, or do they have those characters both just not meet in anything? Because like they keep we're talking about how they're like trying to do the basically the new version, which is Han, Luke, and Leia, and all those characters' story. But
Right.
now they're doing it with like Rebels characters. So it's like, do you have them meet? Do you just give that story to the Rebels? Like, what are they gonna do?
Right. Okay. Yeah, no, I mean, bro, like I said, I think that's been one of the things that I've been wondering too is, what are they going to do with those characters, when it comes to Han, Leia, and Chewie. I know that there was some whispers. We've talked about it before. I mean, they have like deleted scenes of them. I'm sure they have deleted scenes that they can incorporate them into like everything that's going on right now, which is something that I think would be really dope to see. To be honest, I mean, who wouldn't want to see Leia, a young version of Leia during, like
Yeah,
that timeline, right after Return of the Jedi? Because also too is like, we have to remember, Ben Solo's a thing. He exists. You know what I'm saying? Like
yeah.
he's
Ben
there.
Solo's a thing. He's probably at Luke's academy right now. Like
Oh,
it's I'd say it's around time that he's at Luke's academy or about to go. or whatever. But there's a lot of stuff that's happening right now. I think Han and Leia are divorced. I don't know if they're divorced right now, but I know he's like
Divorced
a
them.
racer or something in the books,
Right.
and so they say that didn't happen anymore. Luke's building, like his like Jedi Academy with his like androids.
Right.
Leia is sending C-3PO to go and handle things for Hera. Like everybody's doing
Something.
whatever right now. Yeah, everybody's doing something. Everybody who knows what Lando's doing, you know, like
Yeah,
or
that's another one that got freaking put to the back burner. Like that's which sucks. But yeah.
yeah, that's why I'm like, you have all these really big important characters. Like, I don't care if they de-age them or whatever. You gotta do something with them. They're too big to just sit on the sidelines.
He's like, you gotta do it. You gotta. You
You
gotta.
gotta,
You
man. You
gotta get
gotta.
him. You gotta get him in there. Yeah, I agree with you. I think the one character I think that I would love to see if they did anything was, like I just said, I would like to see some like a Lando series. I know Donald Glover and his brother were gonna be writing that, and supposedly they're instead of a show, they're doing a movie. But
It's a movie, yeah.
yeah, which I'm a little kind of like, I think I would have been okay to be honest if it was just a show. I don't think I needed that to be a movie. Yeah, I think a character like him is like I think he's
Nah,
better with
bro.
a
At
show.
this point, come on, man. Bro destroyed the second Death Star. He deserves a movie. Give him a movie.
Give
Uh,
that man a
and
movie.
and at this point, I'm just like, make it like a old Lando telling, the story of like some stuff he did back in the day. Like, get him involved even more. Like, dude is in his 80s. Like, they need to do this.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. I mean, I think they were gonna utilize him to do like narration on it. Like it would be
Hmm.
like Donald Glover, and then he was just gonna do like the narration, which would be dope. I mean, it would be cool. But to be honest with you, I don't know. I don't know if I like that's the thing is like we're playing with time right now because Billy D. Williams is also old. You know what I'm saying? So it's like if we just lost Carl Weathers, imagine that. Like we don't know how much time
Yeah.
we have with these people on this planet. So
That's why I said you gotta strike while you gotta do stuff with these people while they're still alive and kicking and everything and willing.
yeah, because that's the other big thing. So it's like we don't know, but I'm hoping that they do something with that. I mean, Han, I'm not really worried about. We know that freaking, Harrison Ford has been wanting to be out of Lucasfilm. So I mean, if they utilize any like behind the scene footage that I mean not behind the scene like unseen footage that they never used, I mean, I'm sure he'll be okay with it. I don't think he would.
What is, bro? Like they just de-aged him for Indiana Jones and used a stunt double in his voice. They can do the same thing with him with his blessing.
Yeah, yeah.
Like
Um,
think about it. Han, Luke, and Leia have all been de-aged in the new Disney, canon. When they're under the Disney umbrella in some form or fashion. Well, not Han really, but young Indiana Jones, same thing.
Right, right. Yeah, no, that's something that they could do. I agree. I think that they could explore that. Even I think all the more to be honest, I think with Carrie Fisher, they could do that with a little bit more. Because I feel like Carrie Fisher, again, we know that she was very like, she loves this, like that was her thing, that was her baby as well. Harrison Ford, he like I said, Indiana Jones is his thing. But if they really want to talk more about any character from the OTs, apart from Mark Hamill, I think she would be the next thing that they could utilize her, in something.
Yeah, they need to. Like Luke's been getting a lot of love in Mando and Book of Boba. We just got a Han Solo. We got a Han Solo movie or whatever. And Carrie Fisher, like, oh, okay, they kind of de-aged her for Rogue One, and then also, a snippet in Rise of Skywalker with her daughter. But we need more. Like I said, like these characters, 30 years is a long time. We got 30 years from Return of the Jedi to Force Awakens. Like I don't see these characters just sitting out in the background, like just chilling after everything.
Right. No, I agree with you. I totally agree with you. I think if there is a character that we probably will see, well, we're definitely gonna see in like the Ray movie. Like we'll see obviously we'll see Chewie. I mean,
Wouldn't that be something if it's like we thought we were gonna get Han, Luke, and Leia, they just throw Chewie out there in 3PO and R2 to just go handle like, oh yeah, they're on other business. They sent them.
you're talking about during the whole thing with like the Mandalorian.
Yeah,
I
imagine if
mean,
that's all they did.
they did it in freaking Mandalorian season 3. No, I'm sorry. No. The Ahsoka series, right? Yeah, the Ahsoka series. Damn, I forgot.
Yeah, well, they did
Yeah,
that with 3PO, and I'm just like, man, like use them, like
yeah, they just
stop
get name
stop
dropped.
throwing out these side characters or name dropping people.
That's all they're gonna do, bro. I think that's all they're gonna do. To be, I really don't see them going the route of like incorporating them like into like the stuff. To be honest, like I said, if they do, it's a stretch, but I just don't. I think that that's why they wanted to get. I think that's why they wanted to get rid of them in the sequel so bad. But like, I don't see. I don't think Disney understood. To be honest with you, I never like thought about this or said it like that. But like now looking at it, I don't think Disney understood how loved these characters were. I think that's honestly what I really believe. I just don't think they had an understanding of Star Wars and the amount of fans, it came with when they purchased it. I think they just kind of were like, all right, like I think they had a general understanding, like, okay, like these characters are definitely loved. But I don't think it was to the point that they got all the, where they would get all this backlash. And I think now it's like that's why, like, they gave us a scene, with Luke Skywalker, Mark Hamill's Luke Skywalker in The Mandalorian, and they set it up like that because they're like, all right, how do we rewrite, the sequel trilogy and make and make these characters, dope again? You know what I'm saying? Like, how do we do that? Because
Well,
obviously,
yeah,
because the
go ahead.
sequels, we know that they made them, very minimal. Literally made them very
Well,
minimal.
that, and like I told you before, and this is like fact, like whenever they use one of George's characters, like that he wrote, they have to pay him. And Disney right now, and for the past I don't know how many years, ever since George sold it, have had like a real weird relationship with George, especially after his kind of outburst about like with them not using the story and like how they treated his characters.
Right.
Whenever they have to use his characters, they have to pay him. So they have been trying to move until their own thing, which is good in a sense, but at the same time, you can't pretend like the original Star Wars and the original trilogy didn't happen. Like those characters are what we all really want to see, but not shoehorned through things in the worst way. But we still all that's all we really want to see.
Right. Yeah, no, I agree with you. I couldn't agree with you more, bro. Honestly, like I believe the same thing. I really do. Whether or not they give us these characters, I think is the biggest question, with the Mandalorian movie, because again, with them starting to talk about the filming aspect and it coming as early as June, which is great. I still I'm hoping that they have some sort of a story down because I'm a little concerned with how they left off in the Ahsoka series, and I don't and also the Mandalorian. Like we see, like at least like if they did this, they ended up doing season 4 and then they ended up doing season 2. I think there'd be like some sort of a story there, like we would have an understanding what the story is going to be about and how Thrawn's kind of demise is going to be coming. But I mean, right now, it seems like Thrawn is in the beginning stages, like of rebuilding. So like to be honest, like when I think about the movie, it really did. Like, bro, there's so many holes. I don't know if you like have sat back and thought about, but there's a lot of plot holes with their movie coming out because, like I said, it's not explained to the point where it's like, all right, this is gonna make sense. Like, are they? Because now my next question is, are they gonna do a time jump? Because, like I said, think about the season finale of season 3 of Mando, and then also of Ahsoka. Do they do it? They're gonna have to do a time jump because it can't just be that they pick up from where they left off in the Mandalorian and in the
No,
Ahsoka
no,
series. That's not gonna make any sense.
they definitely are gonna do. I mean, I don't think it's gonna be a big time jump, but they are. I mean, that's what they've done with like all these, with the past couple seasons of all these shows. Like it started from 5 years
Right,
out from Return of the Jedi, and then I think now where it was like 2, so we're like at 7 or maybe 8 years.
right,
So if they do like another year or two, fine, yeah, I get it, because like every season 3 was like wrapped up in a bow, or a nice little bow. Like Mandalore was, restored in a sense, or it's the start of like, the Mando's taking back Mandalore, and then Mando is like chilling like on his land with Grogu and everything. So, and then with Ahsoka, I don't know. I think Ahsoka is either right before or during season 3 of Mando.
no, I think
So
honestly, I think it's after, a little bit after, to be
they
honest.
said, yeah. but they said it's really close to Mando season 3, so roughly same year, whatever.
Right, right,
But
right.
they would have to do a time jump and then go into that. But my question is like, what do you think? Well, since they're filming, see the movie and everything, it's gonna be Mando season 3, then this movie, and then season 4, and then I guess whatever the whatever happens with the Dave Filoni movie, the Star Wars Avengers.
So what is the question? I'm sorry.
Like, what do you think? Like, what do you think is gonna happen? Do you think we're gonna? Do you think it's gonna be the movie and then the show, or do you think like it's
Oh,
gonna
they
be
said it
season 4?
already. They said it. The movie. It's gonna be the
Yeah,
movie.
but
Which order you mean? Like after the movie?
yeah, but I'm saying because like I think like things change all the time, man. Like they could just say like season
Uh-huh.
4. They could switch it, and then season 4 is like
I mean,
leading up into the movie.
that's what, like I said, that's what I thought would have made more sense. It would have been more logical. But from what it seems like, if they're already putting out dates and a bunch of other sources, because when that news came out yesterday, the day before,
Mhm.
it wasn't really like credible sources, but like now a bunch of people are coming out and saying it. So if they're gonna start filming for the movie in June, I don't see season 4 even like in the like I don't see it in the next 3 years, to be honest. I think they start film because if they're gonna film the movie, they're gonna have to obviously take time off after the movie and then get back to filming. You figure in like 2 years. So
Mhm.
I don't see season 4, and that's why I was saying to you, I think if they do film season 4 of The Mandalorian, it's gonna be the story of what I told you and what you and me have talked about a long time ago. That it was an old article that stated that the Mandalorian was gonna no longer be about Din Djarin. It was gonna be more about Mandalore and the reestablishment of that planet, which that would make sense. And they can use that show as an Andor. You talk about other side characters, which we saw in the Andor series. It worked. You know what I'm saying? Like Luke, Luthen was very relevant. So, you had all these other characters that were fine. We know Bo-Katan could hold herself. We know Sabine Wren. We know Ahsoka. Like, all these characters could withstand themselves come on, bro. Who wouldn't want to see a show about Balin or Shin? Like, they'll be fine. You know what I'm saying? Like that show will do just fine without Din and Grogu. I think that they will become, to be honest, I think after the movie, I don't think we'll even see them because I think that their names will be so big. I don't think they might even show up. They would be like, they'll come up in like a season finale. They'll be the next Luke
Mhm.
for the Star Wars like shows. That's what it'll be.
Yeah, but you got to be careful too, because look what happened in Book of Boba Fett. Like at the end, they like Mando just came over and took over his whole show.
That's what it's gonna be, bro. That's what it looks like. Because also too, we can't forget the other show that we're forgetting. That's gonna be another involvement and installment that we're not even thinking of is the Skeleton Crew. How do they fit into all of this?
Yeah,
That's the other
I keep
question. So
forgetting this show is even happening. Honestly.
right, because they're not promoting it or pumping it, and they haven't showed anything. So in reality, like I think at that point, once Mando and Grogu hit the big screen, I think those two characters become the Luke Skywalker of all whatever else is to come after the Mandalorian movie. Like if they're gonna do a season 2 of the Skeleton Crew, guess who's coming in or could come in to save the day? It'll be Din and Grogu. Same thing with the Mandalorian season finale of season 4. Grogu and Mando will be that to those shows. They will
Yep.
be those two will be the Luke Skywalker of those shows. Because Ahsoka now has kind of lost that, like, I don't know, like I feel like I don't even need her in a season for like it's not like an oh my god moment. Like they just kind of threw her in. Like the girl has her own show. Come on, you know what I'm saying? Like you don't need more.
Honestly, I think like it was a good thing to take them out of the galaxy because now they can do their own thing with
Yeah,
Balin and Shin. That could just be their own separate side, their own story, and then they can either they live, die, whatever, but they're in a different galaxy,
I,
and whatever they do with that, they do. But I kind of have a feeling they're not going to be a part of this whole thing with Mando and everybody else and the new Luke or whatever they do, Boba.
I don't think so. And honestly, I hope it stays that way. I hope I hope it's to a point where at the end of the day they don't incorporate them. I'm hoping that, like, let's say they do survive, because again, they could still survive on Peridea. I don't know how. They could survive, but I'm hoping that if they do, I'm assuming that Dave Filoni's gonna save their characters and bring them in for the new Rey Jedi Order movie. That's what I'm thinking.
Hmm.
I'm thinking honestly, I think this time around, so I will tell you this. I think the one character that will die in the Mandalorian movie will be Ezra this time around. I don't think he survives. There's no way I think his sacrifice is gonna happen this time in that movie where he sacrifices and he's done this time, but it'll happen in live action. Because
Speaking of which, you also got to take into account Jason Syndulla too.
Well, yeah. I mean, I think his story doesn't really get told until later on. I think honestly, bro, like I think that's where the skeleton crew comes in. I think he could fit with them. I know we've talked about it before. I'm hoping that they incorporate him with that. It would be really, really good. But so long, Ezra. Oh, he's done. He's done.
Yeah,
Can
I
him,
mean
baby.
you gotta like if they bring him back for real. If they bring him, like you said, plot holes. If they bring him back and he's such a big part of like the rebellion or the republic and everything, where is he during the sequel trilogy? Like he has to be gone or something. Like you know
That's what I'm thinking, bro.
he's almost on Luke Skywalker level, like almost.
I
They're
mean,
literally the same age. Like their exploits are almost just well. I mean, obviously Luke Skywalker put in the most work compared to Ezra. Or at least the big heavy lifting. But Ezra's still there, so it's just like you have to take care of him.
yeah, but actually, if you think about it, Ezra started at a younger age compared to Luke. He started younger.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah. Ezra started younger, but Ezra didn't blow up a Death Star or technically redeem Darth Vader and all this other stuff.
oh, yeah, you're not wrong there. Obviously, I agree with
More
you.
over the years, but Luke did the bigger, the heavier lifting.
Yeah, so did Lando, though. So did Lando. All right,
Hey,
so
so did Wedge, but ain't nobody talking about him.
yeah. Well, so did Wade in the Kenobi series. But you know what? What are you gonna do, bro? Wade.
Oh man.
Luke was the last Jedi. Seems like everyone survived Order 66. Listen, listen, man.
That is such a and that's the one thing I really don't like with what Disney is doing because it's like George set up the rules and they're just like sidestepping or bending or whatever a technical or making everybody a technicality.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, I think it's cool. I don't mind that certain characters survived Order 66 because obviously, again, the comics have already established that, right? Which I'm fine with.
Hmm.
But it's just more about. Well, I'm gonna leave this comment up. It's more about the simple fact. I think it's after the original trilogy, is too many characters survived. That's
Hmm.
what. That's why I think the problem for me lies. Like, and now everybody and their mother can be a Jedi. Like that's where I think is like that the whole midichlorian everything just kind of like has kind of shot itself in the foot. Like that's
Well, I just think like what they should have did is they should have just had it be Vader and his Inquisitors and everybody took everybody out and it's just Obi Wan and Obi Wan and Yoda, and up until the original trilogy, and then everybody else just starts getting trained, or that's when we start getting new Jedi. They should have literally just made it nobody survives except for Obi Wan and Yoda through the original trilogy. Like kill Ahsoka. Ahsoka should have been done before the original trilogy did that.
what's going on, George. What's going on? Yeah, yeah, yeah. I agree. Yeah, I think Ahsoka should have been gone. To be honest, I don't think she should have survived. I mean, Asajj Ventress. I mean, I think characters like that I'm okay with because we don't know where their story goes because again, like they didn't finish their story in the Clone Wars and everything. I mean, Ahsoka, I understand she survived and everything like that, but I just think it adds more depth because it's like you still have some characters from Order 66 that survived. Like it's crazy, bro. Like that's crazy. You have Ahsoka and then it's like you have Ahsoka, but like she can't even beat a character like Balin, and she's alive. Like that's crazy. Like that still blows my mind how she's alive and she couldn't even be Balin. Like what's going on with that?
Hey,
You know?
technicality. Anakin technically saved her.
Yeah, no, he did. Anakin. Oh well, yeah, he did. Well, so did freaking Ezra. That's a whole nother thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like
Yeah.
Like,
He
you know,
almost got. Imagine the character. It's funny. Like she almost gets killed by Vader, and then Ezra saves her, and then Anakin saves her again. It's like, dude, like,
yeah, yeah, no, and I agree with this comment. Like, I agree with what
what's up,
you're saying,
George?
George. Yeah, Georgie Porgy. I agree with him. I think it definitely is washed out. Like even a character like Cal Kestis, and oh my God, bro, I don't know about you. Look, I
Survives,
think
man. I'm gonna just rage. I'm gonna flip a desk.
that's what I was just gonna say, bro. If this man survives after the third game, I'm done, bro. Like at that point, I'm
I
just
don't
like,
think
bro,
they. I don't think he will. Like, cause like he's another big character that if he survived, then it would just. It's like, where was he during like the original trilogy? Like, there's so many.
bro,
Same thing with Soka. Like, they still haven't explained where was she during A New Hope, Empire, and Jedi. Like, where was she?
that's yeah, that's the other question, and I think that's the problem. I don't know, to be honest with you. Like I think about the Cal Kestis thing, I'm like, oh no, oh no, I think they're setting him up to be the next Ahsoka because he wants to come into live action. So I'm thinking, oh no, here we go. Oh
I mean,
no,
if they do that, fine. Just make it before A New Hope, and then third game or the show, and let him just go off like that.
bro,
Like,
but
just
if he
take him out.
survives, bro, but if he survives the third game, that's it. They can't tell that story. Like that game is supposed to lead up until like A New Hope and everything. So in reality, is like if he survives the third game, like that's it. Like Cameron Monaghan is coming to live action, baby. Like
Honestly, man, like with like some of this, if that happens, like I'ma just like it's sad because I've been thinking about it, and I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna have to be picky and choosy of like what I think is canon now. Like I can't, before like, like Marvel, we used to watch everything just to, to understand the bigger picture. And now with Marvel, because some of the things just don't make sense or just like are really lackluster, you have to be kind of picky and choosy with what you watch because it's just like, all right, that doesn't that show I didn't like, but I don't need to watch it to understand the bigger picture. If they do that with if they do that with Cameron Monaghan's character, then I'm just gonna do like that. Like okay, well that's part of what I like. This part isn't. I'll watch that thing over there.
yeah, yeah, no, I don't know, man. Like that to me, like I said, that's gonna be the most interesting part for me is how they're gonna go about that, and that's what kind of worries me. With that whole storyline and everything, because I think it's like George said. I think we've lost so many track of survivors that it kind of waters down Order 66 and everything that George did.
He
Mm.
does, yeah.
And then it's like I don't know at this point if we're even paying homage anymore to George. I mean, just forget about the movies now, right? Like we talk about Dave Filoni being the savior and everything. Is like, how is he really contributing to what George did? Because it just eliminates. I mean, yeah, one could say, oh well, this is what he wanted and all this stuff, but if he didn't do it, I mean, it's obviously because because I'm sure he's pitched the idea or whatever, but like that's why he sold Disney because he got, he wanted to pursue other things and he got tired and he let it rock. I think now it's just Disney
Well,
wanting to tell
that and dude was having a kid, and like that's, he even said it so himself. That's 7 years out of his life making a movie versus like not being there as like a parent, and you have a newborn.
yeah. No, yeah, I mean, you're not wrong, man. You're not wrong. And like that's why I say is like, I'm curious to see what the future of this movie looks like. I'm curious to see how they end up incorporating all these characters together. What this culmination is supposed to be, because again, they have to tell a story that makes sense, and that's why I said we think that this timeline, is amazing and everything as much as it is, but there are still Darth Vader a lot of plot holes. There are a lot of holes that don't add up with the original trilogy, that don't add up with the sequel trilogy. I mean, again, there's just so much. Like I'm doing a video on tomorrow, and one of the things that I noticed, and I'm just like, oh boy, here we go. Like there's a lot, man. There's just a lot, and I'm hoping that they figure it out. What's the number of how many survived? I really want to know. Bro, we'll be here all day. And then we don't even know. I mean, you think about it, freaking Gunji's added to that list too. Like, that's the crazy part. Like, Gunji, Asajj Ventress now, Quinlan Voss, which we knew already. But, like,
Quinlan. The
We know
names on the path. Remember in Kenobi, all the names that they had of Jedi that passed through.
that. Well, Force sensitives, not Jedi. Force sensitives. I
Well,
don't.
some of them were Jedi, but still, like that's a lot of people, man.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I agree.
um, there's a good enough. I remember they had a list, and then that one weird Jedi, that one weird member on the Jedi Council, whose body was like a snake. He's alive still.
How many Jedi? Hold on, let's see. Survived the purge. Man, they don't even give you a number. What? How
You just
many?
got to go by the names, and then in the comic books, like they killed off a good number, but you know.
What? Oh, here we go. So they got some, including. Oh, hold up. Survived. Let's see. Order 66. Let's see. Let's see. Damn. Doesn't give me. Jedi. Obi-Wan.
Mm-hmm.
No,
One,
I don't think.
Obi-Wan, Yoda,
Ah-
obviously,
Ahsoka.
Ahsoka,
That's three.
technically.
Caleb.
Kanan.
Yeah, Kanan. Um, they're saying here Luminara, which I
She's dead. Like in Rebels, like she's toast.
yeah. So I mean, yeah, there's that, but that's what they're saying here. They're counting her as a part of that. Um, you also have to remember the Jedi too that was in the Kenobi series because he was a survivor of Order 66, and I
Oh
don't
yeah,
remember.
that dude.
Yeah,
I
that's what I'm
forget.
saying. I don't even think that like I don't know. Like you'd have to sit there and go back and count each one, and I don't know. I'm not doing all that. That's a lot of work. I don't know,
Yeah,
man.
because like I said, Luminara was like dead. They had her corpse like as a
Yeah, but still, like we don't necessarily know.
360 trilogy. Yeah.
Yeah, but still, technically, that if they even though they did have her corpse, we don't know if she still technically was alive after. You know what I'm saying? Like that's still though that was still unconfirmed. So
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I
And
mean,
who
I
knows?
guess
Who knows when they kill her? Yeah.
Grogu, yeah, Grogu, and then also Kelleron back. Like, holy shit,
Aileron back.
yo,
Yeah.
yeah, you know what I'm saying? The list just goes on. Cal
I
Kestis.
think they're gonna handle him. Yeah. Honestly, I think the majority of those like people like before, I think they are setting up to be like killed off in some form or fashion. But if they
Yeah.
keep them going past like A New Hope, then I don't know what to say, man.
Bro, like I think, like I said, at this point, bro, it's all in the air. I have no idea what they're gonna be doing, and that's why, like I said, it really scares me with the future because, just the simple fact that we have lost count of how many Jedi survived Order 66. That's a problem. Like we still don't even know, bro. We don't even know what happened to Petra and those younglings. Like other than Gunji surviving, like I'm still dying to know the story. Like what happened to them? Like there's a lot, bro. Like what
Yeah.
if they survived too? Yeah,
They
Balin
could have
too.
easily just made like a quick. Yeah, Balin and Shin
Not
is
sure.
later, but Balin's yeah. They could have just made in the Bad Batch a quick like, oh yeah, I was with like the rest of the younglings and they all got iced and I was the only survivor.
Well, that's what I've
Simple,
been
just like throwaway line.
Well, that's what I've been waiting for. I thought they would have done that in like the last, but I think it would make more sense though if he comes across like another Jedi. You know what I'm saying? Like I think that's where it would make more sense if he has that conversation like an Ahsoka, but I don't see Ashley Eckstein's Ahsoka being in the Bad Batch. I mean, again, they could pull a Hail Mary for all we know. I don't know. Because that would be interesting to see too. I'm not gonna lie to you. Actually wouldn't mind to see an Ahsoka seeing Asajj Ventress. One of the things that I was thinking of is what are your thoughts on this? Do you think or would you want to see that in the Bad Batch? Maybe Asajj Ventress is with Quinlan Voss.
I mean, that's what I said. That's what we were talking about last week. Yeah, I mean, if they're gonna say that, that book is still canon, which they're basically bending the rules with it, kind of like they did with like Kanan, then he's
Right.
got to be in this. Like, you don't like have her doing what she's doing and then kill her off if the book's still canon and not have him there.
Right. Right.
And you
Yeah.
don't name drop him in Kenobi. You don't name drop him in Kenobi to just not do anything with him. Like, McGregor straight up says, Quinlan. Like it's like, all right, so that basically just means he's coming.
Yeah, I mean, but where we don't know because Kenobi season 2 doesn't look like he's getting a go anytime soon. So I don't know where that's going to be happening. I don't see that happening.
Yeah, and even that, it's like, where do you go from like? I don't think they're gonna have him fight Vader again, and you can't have him fight Maul. It's like you can't.
No,
like they don't see each other until Rebels. So it's like, where do you go?
No, they've already messed that up. I don't want to do that again. No, they've already messed up.
You can't.
Revenge. They already messed up Revenge of the Sith to that. No, it worked in Revenge of the Sith. It doesn't work now. Like they should have just let it be. They should have just let it be. I think that's where they went wrong, and that still pisses me off till this day. I mean, again, it was great to see Ewan back, but I think a different story can be told if they want to go the route of him kind of like now going the comic route where he becomes, basically like a real hermit, and he's like, writing in his diary. He's, writing the stories and the tales of the things that he sees, he hears. He doesn't get involved in anything like that. Then yes, like the Legends version of Kenobi where he wasn't involved.
Yeah, but like, they shot themselves in the foot because, if they were gonna do that route, then everything could have been leading up to the showdown with Vader.
Oh,
like how we got. You could have started with Maul and then went to Vader, or whatever, But you can't go unless they do like round 2.
Yo, I forgot the other character that survived. Yo, because Reva.
Mm-hmm.
Reva.
Yeah, Reva, bro.
Oh my god, I forgot about Reva, bro.
Oh, and then baby Ice Cube, because I'm just getting started.
Oh my god, bro. Totally forgot about Reva. Wow. Oh my god. I know Grey Jet is gonna say some comment about Reva right now. I'm just waiting on it. Oh my god. But yeah, I forgot. Dude, there's so many characters that survived. Holy crap. Oh my god. It is crazy. Rockley says, I've been hearing from Camera Pasha that they will retcon the sequels and plus man, I don't even know who that. I think I've heard
happening.
That's not happening. That dude is like another Mike Zero, bro. Come on, man. That dude isn't that dude that like be talking like crazy and says stuff and he has like these crazy sources. I think he's that guy too. He's another one. Yeah,
and then there's the Doomcock guy and the Mike Zero. I mean, the Doomcock guy I actually will give some credit because he.
I thought he was doing. I thought that
interesting stuff.
I thought that dude was Doomcock. I don't know who's who, bro.
No. The Doomcock is a guy, the fake MF Doom looking guy, but like he does have some real sources.
Listen, you know more than me. I don't know, bro. You're up in Hollywood. I ain't, so I couldn't even tell you, bro. I don't know, but all I know is, listen. All I know, listen. I just go off of what I see. I don't pay attention to really any other YouTubers. I just do my stuff. The only YouTubers that I really watch, if y'all don't know, is my homie over here. I don't pay attention. Listen, if it ain't coming from online and credible sources, yeah, you won't hear me like watching or listening because again, it's very hard to sit there and listen to certain YouTubers that say like a Mike Zero, like, oh my god, no, bro, like no, I can't do that. That's too clickbait. Like I'm not giving somebody, hey, what's going on, Tim?
When you do YouTube, it's hard to listen to other YouTubers unless like you're supporting them. Other than that, like we don't really rock with like a lot of people like listening like that unless like we know you or your support,
Exactly. If you a homie, then that's different. But if not, listen, y'all know me. I put content daily. The last thing I want to do is be on YouTube and watch more Star Wars. I'm good. I put enough Star Wars news, theories, breakdowns out. I'm good. The only thing I watch now, I think
is it like this for you? Like my feed used to be Star Wars, like all on YouTube, and now it's like back to like normal stuff. It's not my algorithm for me. It's not even Star Wars at all anymore. It's maybe you, and that's about it.
I don't know, bro. Like honestly, my Star Wars feed, to be honest, is because I've been doing a lot of like research and stuff like that on just content creating, just to we all want to get we all want to perfect our craft. I'm not gonna lie. In baseball, just because like I'm getting ready for MLB The Show. Y'all know I'm a gamer, so like that's like my thing. I play baseball, so like I'm excited for MLB The Show 24. and just trying to see highlights on that.
Yeah, dude, my feed went back to basketball. My feed went back
That
to
too.
like
That
basketball,
too.
like movies that are coming out, and
That
Jordans. Like other
too.
than that, it's not Star Wars anymore. Maybe Jurassic
Yes.
Park because of obvious reasons.
Actually, actually, my content too is on like yeah, it's on a lot of sports stuff. I will say a lot of basketball. Shout out to I
Hmm.
don't know him, but like shout out to Shannon Sharp. Like I be watching him.
Yeah, I watch Shannon Sharp all the time. Shannon Sharp and what's his name, Stephen A.
Yes, yeah, the two of them. Yeah, that's the only ones now because Stephen A is on
Uh,
YouTube, so I'll be watching the
now
two of them.
Skip.
Yep, skip. Now wait a minute, skip. Wait a minute. So
Now wait a
um,
minute, Skip. Now wait a minute. LeBron James is number one, Skip.
what do you mean? That's blasphemy. That is blasphemy. Oh my gosh. I can't, bro. I can't. Oh my god. Club Shay Shay. Yes, we gotta start. Yo,
Shay for the win.
we gotta start doing that, bro. Where like we have like some like I think we should do that, bro. Like we never do. We always said we were gonna do that in the past. Like have a bottle of like Jack or like whatever, and just have it like there, like just chilling and we drink, as we talk and all this stuff. You
Hmm.
know, I think that'd be cool. Michael Rappaport rules sports. Yeah, I've seen a couple of his stuff. He's pretty good too. Michael
He's
Rappaport,
good. He's
he's
good.
a legend. He's a legend. That dude. I like that dude too. I think the other one I watched too is I think it's called Foul Territory. It's not baseball stuff. So
Ah,
yes. Hey, for Rock Lee for
yay.
the super chat. Kalapash, who
Thank
works in the
you.
movie industry, his sources are legit. He knows someone who works at Disney, and they are They are saying Kathleen has no power, and they will retcon the sequels. He's called Sparrow. Yeah, I've heard that
Yeah,
before. I
I've heard of
mean,
Sparrow, but that's
yeah,
really not happening. Like,
yeah,
I will say, because I have my people too, in one of my sources, but I will say they're not retconning, but the world between worlds is a sidestep. To
correct,
go around it. They're never
correct.
gonna retcon. They spent way too much. They invested way too much money into the sequel trilogy. Rey, Kylo Ren, all those characters to retcon. If anything, they're sidestepping it, and like the world between worlds is like the way to do it.
Right, right. Yeah, because if for those of you who don't know, Darth Hader, aka I'm saying it, Dupree, he's been in shows, he's been in the Mandalorian, he is canon. He is canon, so he would have some he would definitely have some insight
Jesus kidding.
because I will say this, there are certain things that I've heard of from certain people that ended up being true. So again, homie has some has credible things, but yeah, I mean overall we I don't really see them. I think the
Yeah.
sequels in reality definitely are getting retconned because I think they are disappointed with the route that they did go. So I agree with that. I mean, it's obvious Kathleen Kennedy is eventually gonna go. I don't think she's gonna be there for what I'm saying. Like she's gonna go. I mean, but it's been something that's been said for the past 4 years now that she's gonna be quitting. She's gonna be leaving.
They've been
We
saying it
just
since 2016, since The Last Jedi. That's when all that started. Think
and if
about
you
since
think
2017, Kathleen Kennedy's gonna go. They're gonna get fired. Her contract's done. They're gonna fire. Like she's been
right,
here since the start, since 2013. She ain't going until she's ready to go. But like, are
yeah,
they taking away like her power? Are they giving her less responsibilities? Yeah, they have.
yeah,
Like honestly, like I've been telling a lot of people, like you can't honestly blame all the missteps on her. Like a lot of stuff that happened is also Disney and Bob Iger's issue. Like the reason I always tell the biggest reason why like Solo flopped in a sense is because that movie came out right after The Last Jedi. That movie was supposed to Kathleen Kennedy and Lucasfilm wanted that movie to come out during Christmas. Instead, that movie came out during May, like, right after The Last Jedi, and like it was so much hate and decisiveness, and people being like boycott Disney right after like the Last Jedi. That movie caught the flag, and that was Disney's fault. Disney wanted that to happen, wanted that movie to come out in May because they had I forget whatever movie that was supposed to be big coming out in 20. 17 during Christmas, and they didn't want it to like collide with like another Star Wars movie. So some
Yeah.
things you can't just really blame on her. Some things are Disney, but it's back and forth. It's their fault and her fault.
Yeah, I mean, it's the same thing with certain things with Dave Filoni. Some things are his fault, and we don't want
Yeah,
to admit that. People call this man
yeah,
a god. He's not a god, man. Like I don't think he's done anything other than just take what George Lucas has told him, and just kind of perfected it, and he's put his little touch on it. But in reality, it's all George Lucas. Whatever Dave Filoni is doing is all really George Lucas, if you think about it. Um, you know,
but you're right,
Rock
Rock Lee. Like Sparrows. That dude's sources is pretty legit. So I won't. I'll give you that one.
Yeah, I never really got into his. I don't really know him, so I guess you know more than me because I don't know the dude at all. So, like I said, for y'all who know me, I do too much daily content. I do not pay mind to anybody else other than myself or this man right here or anybody else that I know of that puts out content. I agree, but the sequels aren't making money. The toys don't sell. Agreed. Agree. I mean, the only one that I would
Yeah.
say probably sells the most is Kylo Ren, which I think we all love. Adam Driver, especially Kylo Ren, but apart from that, yeah,
Yeah.
they have to like I said, they have to retcon the sequels, man. They have to because it doesn't even this is my point is that like it doesn't even add up with the stuff that's going on now. And this is why I say like a lot of people say like, oh well, Dave Filoni is a savior and everything. Well, I mean, the only way I could see him being a savior, anything making sense, is when this stuff happens. In the new Jedi Order movie with Rey, if we see that these characters are still involved in that movie, then it makes sense. But like until then, I'm not gonna say because there's a lot of these characters. Where were they during the sequel trilogy? And this is my point: is that they shot themselves in the foot because they wanted to get that money back from purchasing Lucas from George Lucas himself, and they needed that money back. So what did they say? We'll put we'll put 3 movies out, whatever and it is what it is, and that's why they're in the problem that they're in now. I want to give a shout out Angelina. What's going on? What's going on? Eternal
Hello.
Sith. Eternal Sith. Are you both excited for the Bad Batch season 3? I sure am. Yes,
Hell
I
yeah.
I definitely am. And as we talked about it here, let me tell you, Asajj Ventress, horns up all day, baby. Throw them horns up in the comment section because Asajj Ventress is here. I want me some Asajj. What about you, Darth Vader?
Well, I, okay. One thing, because we were talking about Dave Filoni, one thing I will say is he knows how to end the series on a high note and make you feel a certain type of, feel a certain type of way, like
Right,
Clone Wars season 7,
right,
Star Wars Rebels.
right.
Like he knows how to like put a footnote in like a finalization in a series, and I just want to see how they end this in the best way.
Right.
My only thing is I'm just like, with the ties to Boba and everything, how are they gonna like tie this up in a nice bow and end? Because I feel like, honestly, I'm gonna be real. Like I feel like the whole of the Bad Batch, is gonna get offed in some form or fashion, and Omega is probably gonna be the only one that survives. And I'm thinking like, okay, if they do that, like, where do they go with her character? And does it involve Boba? Does it involve the other scientist that's apparently another clone that's her sister? So so Boba has two sisters. So I'm just like, where do they go with that?
Yo, I just had the craziest idea. Yo, thank you for mentioning Omega. Oh my god. I have a crazy theory. Oh my god, there's gonna be a video coming up, but it's a crazy theory. I'm not gonna talk about it now. If y'all want the membership program, join my membership. I will talk about it in one of the live streams because I do membership live streams. So if you're not a member, make sure to become a member because I have some crazy theories, and y'all know I got crazy theories. Y'all know me. If y'all know me, y'all know me. I want to just read. I want
That
to
should be
finish
your
off
new name. Crazy
crazy Star
theory.
Wars theories. I know, right?
Uh,
I just want to read. I want to read this one here, and then I'm gonna go back to Angelina. I'm gonna go back to Angelina. I see you. I see you. Rock Lee says here. Yeah, it's storytelling, bro. You're right. It doesn't add up with the Grogu stuff and Mandoverse. Like, where was Grogu in the future? I agree with that, and that's why I have such a big problem with the Mandalorian because it doesn't add up with the stuff from the sequels. But that's why, like you said, and like we've been saying in here too, there's a lot of stuff that's going to get changed from the sequels that they have to, because it just, again, it doesn't add up. But going back to Angelina, I already said I'm excited for Asajj Ventress. Darth Vader, what are you excited for? I mean, you could be also too for that, but yeah.
I
What are you
told
most
you,
excited?
like I just want to. I'm excited to see how they wrap things up with all these characters, like that we've grown
Okay.
to love and everything. I know it's gonna be, it might be a little sad. I just want to see how they wrap and tie things up because
Right.
like I said, Dave sometimes has a hard time like ending his characters.
Right.
So I think, like I said, I think they're all gonna get taken out in some form or fashion. I just want to see what happens to all of them, and eventually to Omega, because I don't think she gets off in the series. I just don't.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm. I'll tell you after. I'll tell you after. And then if,
Yeah,
like I said,
yeah.
if y'all aren't members yet, we'll talk about it in the member live stream. Angelina says the only way they can retcon the sequels is making Luke wake up from a force vision, and that events of the sequels were just
It was just a dream.
that is really, let me tell you, that would be funny. And he wakes up with that, with freaking the blue milk on the side. Oh my god, he got drunk off the blue milk. That would
No,
be
bro.
so funny, bro.
It's the sequel trilogy. He drinking that green stuff, that green milk from that
Oh
weird
yeah.
seal thing.
Oh yeah, you're right. It would be the green stuff. Oh my god, that green milk. Oh my god, that shit got him twisted. He got twisted. Oh man, y'all made me curse. Oh man, he got
Now dripping down
twisted.
his beard.
Listen, man. Listen. I mean, no, there's a lot. I mean, I think one of the things you mentioned that Darth Vader, and then like I know we've talked about it, is listen, Ezra pulled us Ahsoka out of the world between worlds. She survived. If y'all don't think that's gonna cause something in the multiverse, like a disruption, like listen, it's becoming Marvel. Like we see they're doing Tales of the Jedi, they're doing the What If Star Wars show that's supposed to be coming. Like there's so much that they're gonna be doing. And again, we will see it as time goes. It's not gonna just stop here. I think the sequels will change. I think that we're gonna see a difference. I think this Mando movie, this is it. Like this movie has to be the movie here to explain a lot of things. Even let me tell you something, bro, because I have a video coming out tomorrow. There's certain things that this movie has to explain, even with stuff from the original trilogy and even before that. So, overall, man, like I said, there's a lot of holes. There are a lot of plot holes in that. Angelina says, "I think I've lost hope for Star Wars." I mean, look, I can't tell you. Look, I can't look. I'll be like this. I keep it in the middle. Y'all know when y'all come to this channel, it's very balanced. Same thing with Darth Vader. We're very in the
You're the
middle.
balance of the force. All things
Literally.
must have a balance, and that's us.
Exactly. I will tell you this. Look, I'm not gonna say everything we've gotten from the Disney canon has been perfect, because it's far from it, But I mean, again, we
For
are
the
getting
bad,
Star Wars.
we've got some good.
Exactly. When there's good, there's bad. When there's bad, there's good. I mean, again, Bad Batch, people love it. People were happy. People were cosplaying as I forgot the guy's name. One of the clones that came in the series. Like overall, it just people fell in love with that. What's something else? I'm trying to think. I don't know. It's just
I mean,
overall,
Andor, in a sense, people like that
everybody loved
show.
Andor.
We
Yeah,
got
people loved
we
Andor.
got
Andor was good
season
for people.
7 of Clone Wars, like season 10 Tales of the Jedi.
Yeah, and people were not mad
Rogue
about that.
One.
People were not mad about that.
And Solo, like almost. And come on, as biased as I am, like, come on, like, aside from kind of Kenobi, like, Disney has been like hitting everything has been hitting with Vader,
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
about.
Yeah. Basically. Eternal Sith, Vader. What was your reaction to Ahsoka series finale and South Park? uh,
Oh,
the,
you want to handle
the
that one?
Yeah, I'll handle it because I watched South Park. If we're talking about the episode, because I don't remember I don't remember names like that. If we're talking about the South Park thing with Kathleen Kennedy, let me tell you, that was funny as hell. That was really funny as
I
hell.
didn't actually watch it, honestly. Like,
Oh,
I
dude,
haven't, being real, and I hate to
bro,
be like, I haven't watched South
bro.
Park in like a good amount of time, but I heard about it, and everybody was sending me the memes. I'm like, ooh.
Bro, you gotta watch it. Literally, Eric
Yeah.
Cartman becomes Captain Kennedy's like, put a chick in it. Oh my dude, it's so funny, bro. It's listen, if you have a sense of humor, you gotta watch it. Like, I'm sorry, like, yeah, you gotta watch it. It's funny. It's funny as hell. Ahsoka series finale though. Damn, you know what's crazy? I don't remember the season. Oh, I do. I remember. Oh, yeah.
I remember we thought we liked it for what it was. I remember, but at the same time, it just didn't fit. It just didn't sit well because it was like, okay, it's very open ended, but
Right.
you know what? Okay, so what are we doing with these characters? And they're so basically all the characters swapped. Like everybody that was in like the faraway galaxy got into the main one, and then everybody who was in the normal galaxy went to like the
And then
secret galaxy. So it's like, what are we doing now?
And then, like, the one, you know, what's funny? The one that gets me now, I think about it, is Shin. Like, what was her purpose of staying there? Like, bro, Balin literally said, yo, go with Thrawn. Like, you have a different vision. He literally, you will fit with him. And she stays. Like she didn't even look for, like, she just stood there with the crap. Like, bro, what? Just go.
Yeah, it would have made more sense for her to go with
With
Thrawn
Thrawn, because Thrawn would have had a
Balin like do
mercenary.
his thing.
Bro, Thrawn would have had a dope ass mercenary, and she could have been the one to fight Ezra. Like that would have been. I mean, Ezra would have definitely murked her, but still, it would have been good. Like that would have definitely been a better fight. It would have been a better fight between him and her than freaking her and Sabine. Tell you that much.
Yeah,
I would rather
I
see
mean,
Ezra.
I remember liking it for what it was, but it was like, it was like very cliffhanger. Like I like it, but I'm just like conflicted. Like it wasn't good, it wasn't bad. That's what I remember about the finale.
Ahsoka wasn't. It wasn't really like, I know some people have their quarrel, their whatever about it. It wasn't really so much of a bad show. It wasn't bad. It was just some of it just doesn't add up. Like the cliffhanger of Balin, knowing that he passed away. I mean, again, that's not their fault, so I'm not gonna hold the Balin one to them. But like the Shin one, the Ahsoka one, the Sabine one, how does that add up with the stuff now? It's all over the place. So I don't know. Do both of you think they'll ever retcon or erase the sequel? We just talked about it. No, they'll just retcon it. Most likely, it'll just be more
No,
that.
I like I said, multiverse sidestepping, being like, okay, that happened, but we're gonna go and to the side, this, I don't know, alternative route, and tell different stories. If anything, that's what I think they'll do with that.
Yeah, that's what I believe too. I really believe the same thing too. Rock Lee for $4.99. I think they will put the sequels in a what if universe and just go around the story or ignore it like it never happened. That's not a bad one. That's not a bad one, bro. What do you think about that?
Honestly, like being real, I'm wholeheartedly with the retcon, the sequels, but it's never gonna happen. Like it will never happen, and I just said, I just think they're gonna do something else to sidestep it. But as much as I wish, because like I would be the first one to tell you I don't like the fact that they killed all of our original trilogy characters in every single movie, like one character every movie. That was just, in my book, that was just a dumb move. But what else could you do from that? And like at this point, Harrison Ford is older, is like has his final thing with Star Wars, unless like they do something back in before all that. Carrie Fisher's passed away. Mark Hamill is kind of done with Star Wars, like after aside from popping up in Mando and everything. So it's hard to say.
Yeah, I mean, I don't dislike this idea. I think it's like the problem with that is that you can't. It would be cool to see we know we're getting a what if at some point, without a doubt. That's not a question. But I think incorporating the sequels into a what if universe just would be, because think about it, they spend so much money on these movies, right? Like that's why it's like, when everybody says, oh, they're gonna kind of like erase it. You can't erase. They're not. That's like erasing the original trilogy. That's like erasing the prequel. They're not gonna do that. It exists already.
Like Star Wars is one of these like franchises you can't do that with. I mean, Marvel, DC, and everything. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, you
like
can do that.
Bond,
DC more.
They revamp it every few years. Yeah, they like come on. How many Batmans do we have? You can do that, but you can't really. How Star Wars is set up, you can't do that.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, the only way the sequels can be like overlooked. It really is Darth Vader is the World Between Worlds. If they utilize the World Between Worlds the way is like the way they can do it to save the way like you have like Infinity War, Endgame, like where things could change, where you have like ultimate like remember when Doctor Strange goes, like
Yeah.
there's only one universe that we win. There's only one like where
Hmm.
there's a slight change. Like this is that
Yeah.
time that they can sit there and be like, all
Kind
right,
of the only way.
right, this is their Hail Mary. So like if they really want to retcon or change the sequels, this is their way. And if they don't do it, because we won't know, this is the only way we're gonna know, to be honest with you, that the sequels are different. Is when we get the Daisy really, new Jedi Order movie to see what happens, who survived, and what came, who's still around. Because if Ahsoka and Sabine and all them are still around in that movie, then definitely things changed. Somebody like then they utilize the World Between Worlds, and I think to be honest with you, they might use the World Between Worlds again somehow. Don't listen. There's something that I read, and they might use it again. Just saying, just putting that out there. So
They
thank you for
leaked.
that.
Yeah, I mean, one of these leakers, who you guys like, Rock Lee was talking about, like actually leaked the main story plots, and from what like I was seeing, it's it's all over the place, and they could do it. They could
Listen,
do it, but
it's
you
been
know,
put out there. I think it's something that's been in the works. I think they're just waiting for the moment. I think that's why the Mandalorian movie will be the make or break for the future of the storyline. What leads into the First Order. Right
the
before it.
Mando movie is gonna hit. Like it's Mando. Like you like whatever they do, even if the movie is like whatever, that movie's still gonna hit. The Ray movie is the one that's gonna be the real make or break for what goes on in the future.
Right. Well, I think it'll be the make or break to see what happens if a character like Grogu, Sabine, and all them are still alive. So, but that's why I
Mhm.
say, in reality, I'm gonna be honest. It's the movie that'll be the make or break, and the two shows, because we don't know
Yeah.
technically. They could utilize the Mandalorian movie to kill off one of these, big names, and they could also utilize the shows. So it's a possibility. Let me just read here. Angelina, or someone can use the World Between Worlds to go back in time and stop popping. That would be a good one. That would be a good one. Yeah,
Star Wars
that
what
would be.
if right there.
But he knew about the World Between Worlds because we saw when he was using the magic against Ezra and Ahsoka. He just can't go in the World Between
Yeah.
Worlds. That's the difference. So that's like a double-edged sword. So, but overall, that's today's news, guys. We want to thank everybody for hopping on. We want to thank you guys. Y'all have been a gem. I want to give a shout out to Grey Jedi, Rock Lee. You are a real one. Rogue, Nino, Grogu. I want to give a shout out to George, Power of the Force, who came on to talk. Tim's Talks. Thank you for hopping on. Angelina, you are a real one. Thank you. Thank you so much for lighting it up in the comment section. We appreciate
Thank
y'all.
you.
Thank you so much. Stay tuned for next week as we will have another. Oh, wait a minute. Wait. We're not done just yet. No. Rock Lee says we got to recast the big three, too. And the perfect person to play Leia will be Millie Bobby Brown. She said she wants to play her. So, okay, well, that'll be the last topic. That'll be the last one. Would you want a Millie Bobby Brown to play a young Leia? As that was the rumor. Maybe she's just waiting for Stranger Things to end. What are your thoughts, Darth Vader? And everybody in the comment section. I mean, we lit now.
I will say, because I know this for a fact this happened, she actually had a sit down with Kathleen Kennedy at Lucasfilm. So
Oh, really? I didn't know this.
this was a while back. This was a while
Oh,
back because, she's. I don't think they would have her doing anything post sequel, post, original trilogy, because they already kind of have,
her daughter. They could use.
Billy Lord, yeah, doing they had her Billy Lord doing the Rise of Skywalker stuff, but from what I hear, and don't really super credit me on this, what I heard, they were eyeballing her to do a young Leia for hope, free, A New Hope and everything.
I
But
can see that.
she did have a sit down with Kathleen Kennedy for sure.
Okay.
Like that actually did happen.
Okay. Okay.
So I would
Well,
love to see her do it. It's just, like when, what
that's
project? I think
That is
Andor, for honestly.
That is the $1 million question, my guy. But when it comes to that, I agree with you. I definitely would love to see Millie Bobby Brown. I think she's just kind of ramping up when it comes to Stranger Things. I think after that, they'll probably, because they have to put out a new timeline too. Star Wars has to put out a new timeline of like what's to come for the future after the Mandalorian movie, after the show, and also the Ahsoka series. So we'll see what happens. But Rock Lee, yo, keep rocking on, my guy. Horns up. Thank you so much for hopping on. Stay tuned next week as we will be back on at the same time, same place, and we will be talking Sith. We will be talking some Sith. Horns up, guys. Have a great night.
Later, y'all.